to practice with our full roster.
Yeah.
It's been really true for almost all of the teams in North American LCS, especially true for these two. But since they're both at different people in the bottom lane, we'll see how those bottom lanes do match up.
Keeping an eye on everything this game. It's going to be an interesting one to start off week 5 here. We're just about to get to the halfway point of the season, so teams need to buckle down. As we start the picks and bans here at Game 1 today, Kalista, Zed are off the board along with Lissandra in there. So it looks like Pobelter actually getting hit up with that Zed pick.
Yeah, so Team Liquid here, banning out just really strong champions target at specific players, whereas Winterfox focusing all on that top lane. If they do focus all on that top lane, I'm interested in what they're going to have Avalon on, because every time they've had Avalon on Gnar, they have not been able to sync up with that champion. It's one of the harder ones to coordinate with in the top lane, and they really need Avalon to have some very reliable CC for their type of game plan to work out.
I think Maokai on the way back around would be really good for something in that. Unfortunately, they have to ban Lissandra being on purple side this time, so they won't have that. Morgana goes away, so a little play to imagine there, but we've also seen Morgana's top lane, mid lane, quite a bit in every lane in different regions. Janna's going to be the first pick up here for Team Liquid.
And I like Janna against Winterfox, especially because of that style that we mentioned where they have Pobelter on Assassin and they have everybody else on hard engage. They're always looking to go straight into the enemy team. No surprise here. They do lock up Maokai once again. I think that he's valuing Gnar less and less because they haven't had success coordinating with it. Maokai's much easier to coordinate that engage on.
I feel like teams also playing against Gnar, you're just kind of like, oh, look, the bar's up. Let's walk away. You really have to execute a nice teleport to get Gnar effectively into a fight. So opening up options with the Maokai and the Graves pick to keep the fights whenever they want. And Liquid's definitely taken a bit of time here to lock in the next few, but they decided to go jungler mid lane already. And he blind picks that Xerath.
Well, they already have Janna, which is always good to have when you do have the Xerath as well. So Team Liquid are going to have some disengage along with their siege so far. And right now, Rek'Sai, still one of the very strong junglers, going to give him a lot of mobility in the early game still, even though the dueling power was taken down a bit. Still definitely one of those top 3. Jarvan is definitely still available, though, for Winterfox, and Jarvan's very strong against Xerath.
Yeah.
We shall see.
The Ahri was one of the last bans here from Team Liquid, so Pobelter doesn't get too many assassins this game. Still looking at LeBlanc to be on the board, however.
Yeah, exactly. And Helios had a lot of success with the Vi last time around. So once again, same old plan as we expected. 2 forms of hard engage from Winterfox with Avalon and Helios, the brothers taking those up, and Pobelter on the Assassin. This is their formula for success. We will see if Team Liquid can protect Keith, though. They've gone with a lot of Kog'Maw-oriented team compositions where they get a couple extra buffs for him and focus on keeping Keith alive in the backline. Maybe a Lulu top. Could be run into the Maokai. Or we'll see Quas on a more split push oriented threat because he has also gone that round. Quas is a very dynamic top laner. Capable of executing several
is actually still available. Not a bad matchup versus the Maokai. However, we haven't seen Quas play too much Aurelia. Actually, none this season, to be exact on that. You mentioned the Kog'Maw for Keith, one of the few who has played that this season here in the spring split. Could be the Jinx, however, though, and the Mundo pick up for the top lane. That has been getting a lot of play, but some AD Fizz in that top lane as well has been, I wouldn't say secretly getting it, but definitely more behind the curtain.
It wasn't much of a secret. A lot of people, after the changes to Fizz, took to taking him in the top lane. Trinity Force into like Frozen Heart is a fairly popular build. Blade of the Rune King also pretty popular on him. We will see it for the first time in the North American LCS. Actually, nope, we've seen it one time before. But yeah, Quas is going to have the Fizz, very, very good at dodging Maokai. So we'll have to see if he is able to create enough chaos, because Keith is also on a fairly low mobility AD carry here. Both him and FeniX. Xpecial is going to have his work cut out for him, protecting this backline. Neither of them with much mobility and a lot of hard engage here from Winterfox. So we'll see if Xpecial can keep the backline safe.
It's going to be going to be pretty tough. We'll see. Annie getting picked up for Imagine here, so that actually slips all the way through as a lot of the mid and top laners get banned here. Obviously the Morgana support, but Imagine will have a way to engage for the team along with the rest, so they round out the composition nicely. Remember, FeniX picked that Xerath up after they had Janna, so blind pick there. He feels confident, and he's actually been one of the better performing mid laners that we've actually seen coming into the spring split. Definitely putting up some numbers for the team. This game to see if Team Liquid can start to round things out, put a buffer on that score list, if you will, and here Winterfox to still keep surging, and we'll see how Imagine fares with the team now. It's been a question. A lot of people imagined if he was even going to be here.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this one's going to play out. A lot of this is going to be on the early game, I think, and if Dominate can take advantage of Rek'Sai's mobility. Oh yeah, crowd is hyped up and ready to get into it because Winterfox, they're very, very clear with the direction they're going with this team comp, even with the Annie and LeBlanc locked in as well to follow up all of this hard CC. They're coming straight for the back line.
So with these different type of top laners, Fizz, you know, put any other top laner in there than the regular meta, does that allow Dominate on Rek'Sai to do anything different? Do they get an extra type of invade?
Well, the thing is, it's a pretty good dueling combo.
Yeah.
The Rek'Sai and the Fizz early because they can dodge VIQs pretty easy.
All right. Before we jump into the game, we want to obviously remind everyone to head over to Twitter, share your time or real-time reactions, send hashtag TLWin or hashtag WFXWin to @LOLesports, and we'll be checking in shortly to see how the vote stands. The fans are ready. We are on to the Rift, and the players are ready as we get this matchup going. Like we said, we're going to keep an eye on Keith. We're going to keep an eye on Imagine. It may not take us both to the bottom lane if we get a lane swap on this one, but that's something we'll keep an eye on as well. Biscuits everywhere this game.
The other thing is, Winterfox might want to go for a lane swap here. Maokai has a better early jungle start than Fizz does, being able to do a camp really easily. So far, though, standard lineup as far as the early trinket dropping goes. Keith getting ready, warming up his fingers.
Feeling good.
All right, so the mid lane's going to be really interesting too. Xerath versus LeBlanc, especially since it is Pobelter, because he has a very aggressive tendencies, and it's all about Xerath being able to land his skill shots very early on LeBlanc rather than focusing on shoving, because Vi definitely does have the early threat while she has her flash, but after that, it's not going to be as pronounced.
Looks like the lane swap will be called
here. So yeah, they tried it, but it is going to be called by Team Liquid. Maokai going to get a very early start. Fizz will start the wolf camp by himself too, it looks like. We'll see how quickly Quas can actually finish that wolf camp off. I feel like Avalon's going to have a bit of a head start on him because of the sapling stack. Of course, you just start throwing those at 1 minute 20.
He starts with Seastone Trident.
Yeah, you need that extra on-hit damage to take them out.
So you go for the small ones first.
Yeah, that's also a tip for junglers. If any junglers are having a hard time clearing the early jungle, I know you need to stay out there a bit longer now that the upgrade cost for your jungle item is a bit more. And people were complaining about it. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Everyone's getting worried.
Come on, you got to build it up.
Not even close. All right, but as you can see,
not even close,
as we expected, Avalon on the Maokai got the early head start because he can clear camp much quicker by stacking those saplings, so he gets the experience advantage getting to that lane much quicker. Both of them opt to use the teleport on the turret for the reduced duration, and we will see what Avalon can do with his extra experience. On Maokai, you definitely want to get a bunch of mana potions after your camp because you can sustain really easily with your passive. Just keep on spamming out your spells and shove down the wave. Basically, all that your goal is as Maokai early in the laning phase like this is to be able to not only hit the minions with your Q, but also tag your opponent. Much easier since Fizz is melee.
Being a beefy tree. Looks like he'll be safe down there. They start off farming, and Avalon rather has just a little bit of a head start. We saw Helios picking up a Scuttle Crab there. actually one of the higher junglers in CS at 10, so he keeps his farm right at the top of that list. Helios should be able to clear this out. Pretty hurt. Go back after that. Dominate's just about the same in the jungle, so we're not going to see their presence anytime soon. Push in the top lane has 17 to 10 for Altec right now over Keith. We'll have to see if Keith can still put up those numbers. We saw the Reddit video conversations from Liquid. They said when they used Keith, it was more of kind of a push, a run and gun strategy rather than playmaker for him. So with Jinx, I think the push strategy kind of falls into play there.
Yep, Jinx likes to sit towards the rear of the team fights until she can get that single kill for the reset. Him and FeniX are going to be playing very safe, watching their positioning. There are so many threats on Winterfox once they start to roam around.
That is scary. Warding's definitely going to be bigger than usual here for Team Liquid to make sure the fog of war is cleared for them already. Pink wards start to come out as Dominate makes his way back out of the base. Making sure Quas does have an easy early game. The back and forth very fast. Ethereal Chain just missing.
And you can see right there what I was talking about with Xerath targeting LeBlanc rather than trying to hit all of the minions to shove. Going for the harass on him enables you to gain control of the lane so that your CS later is much easier to get. Does pop the passive of LeBlanc. However, Pobelter is crushing right now as far as CS is concerned. Here comes the early roam. Now, that's why I really like pairing Annie with Graves especially, not only for the crazy burst that they can have at level 6 for the all-in, but also because Graves is great at shoving up a lane really early and allowing Annie to roam. One of the really scary roaming supports there. Dominate does see him and counter that early roam, though. We'll see if the junglers mirror here on the mid lane.
This could be scary. Pobelter may have put that thought to the wayside that Dominate was above him. Then again, he is LeBlanc, so he can just distort out if necessary. He plays that one calm, cool, and collected. Bit of a trade here in the top lane. Xpecial with a nice Howling Gale right across Imagine and Altec, and they lose out on that trade big time.
Yeah, good job there by Xpecial covering that one.
Playing strong still. Down 10 CS in that lane, but we said Graves is going to be pushing a little bit, so they've been trying to shove Keith and Xpecial into the turret. And Helios figures this would be a good time to take that dragon.
Yeah, Vi definitely capable of taking the early dragon. Sometimes what you'll see is people even putting their early 4th point into a 2nd point of W to take it even quicker. However, Helios going with a standard build here, maxing the Q first. All that means is that the ganks are a little bit more powerful, but it puts a lot of pressure on hitting your Q. I've actually been experimenting a lot with early points in W rather than maxing Q first. And it's fairly strong. There are bonuses because your Q mana cost is a bit lower as well, and you can get around quicker, but that does earn them the early dragon. And there has not been a response from Dominate yet. Oh, man. Only hits one.
That would have been the kill, however, if he was able to hit all 3. So FeniX, the ulti, does pressure Pobelter out. He'll be back to lane quite soon, but this should be FeniX's push as well to get back to lane and buy without any mana. 56 to 43 as those two part for the first time and go back to get their first purchase on. And in that lane, Quas has actually done quite well versus Avalon in the bottom. 54 to 36.
Yeah.
A hard time.
A lot of people turned to that Fizz after the rework in the top lane because he was really strong as AD now, but also because good in the 1 versus 1. Quas definitely taking advantage. Doran's blade start for him. Yeah, and it's only going to get harder for FeniX to land those ults too. That was a bootsless Pobelter.
Ooh.
Still doesn't have them. Wow, the all-in and Avalon is toast.
You are kidding me. Itemless Quas hits level 7, takes down Avalon.
The other thing about the rework of Fizz, if you do hit the ultimate, you get that bonus damage.
Yep, it's kind of like your DFG there. RIP.
Wow, the solo kill. That's going to be huge for Team
That's
Liquid.
especially already being down that far in CS. That's just taking him while he's down and down even farther. So the passive once again as FeniX starts to hit a few of these skill shots. It's good to keep Pobelter at bay because Quas is going to try to carry this one for the team. FeniX staying steady in the mid lane. Blue buff over to him, so these potential, or rather close to kills will now probably be kill secured.
And they've also called the swap here. So Avalon is not going to be able to escape Quas. He's still going to be under a lot of pressure, especially after giving up a kill to a Fizz. It's going to be really, really difficult for him. So we may see him actually start roaming around as well. A lot of kill pressure in that top lane. I mean, with the Fizz rework, it's all about all the power that was moved to the Seastone Trident. The W active is ridiculous now.
So should there be a reaction from Helios to Avalon's lane now, or is that an almost impossible lane to gank with this escape?
Fizz is also fairly difficult to gank as Vi, so they would have to coordinate it really well. You have to land Twisted Advance into either Vault Breaker or Assault Battery for Vi to lock him up. But right now I think that there's just too big of a lead up there. You can't risk a counter gank. If Dominate is in the area, Winterfox would really come out behind on that. So,
all right, well,
want to avoid your losing lanes usually, especially if you don't have vision of the enemy jungler and it's somebody as mobile as Rek'Sai. So Helios takes the safer route, pushing down to this lane that has plenty of kill pressure. The Graves and Annie level 6 burst we already talked about.
Looking for Imagine to make a play, put his name on the board here.
Yep.
It's been very quiet from him in the early game. We saw
he stepped into creep range there.
A few of those aggressive moves in the top that Xpecial was able to thwart. Avalon getting pushed out here in the top lane. This may actually activate Helios to go hard in the bottom now that they see Dominate here.
Yeah, you can see that's exactly why Helios did not go to that top losing lane. Dominate hits straight up there, and they want to press that lead. So something on the bottom side of the map really needs to happen for Winterfox. They've got all the tools here, and you can see Keith and Xpecial doing a great job respecting the level 6 Annie Graves, both with Flash. Don't want to get anywhere towards it.
And that's a good move by them. Just textbook recognizing their junglers and vision at top. They back off, take Gromps. The lane was at reset pace, so no reason to walk out with a level 6 Flash stun from Imagine. They're still playing very, very cautious here. Not wanting to give Winterfox any edge in this game. A lot more communication here between these bottom lanes. Farming with his zap from very far away. Waiting to see Dominate do quite a bit for the team here. He's already been to top lane to put a little bit of pressure on, but just using the tunnels to get where he needs to farm.
Yeah, and when he was up there, not only did he pressure that weak point on Winterfox, but he also dropped wards really deep on this red side jungle, not only at the red buff, but also the Trinket one in the lane. So keeping some vision on his move up to the weak side there from Winterfox.
Looks like mid lane maybe taking a bit of damage. No, just to help clear for FeniX. We may actually get a roam here. We see Xpecial coming up with Keith, actually. So they may start to get that push on they were talking about earlier, actually. The minions are there for them, and Pobelter, Helios cannot do much. They watch mid go down.
Yeah, good roam here because they do not want to fall to the burst here from the Winterfox lane. Just move up and take a turret really quickly. Whenever you do have Jinx with that attack speed bonus that she has, supplemented with the Janna attack damage from the shield, can take down turrets very quickly if you just roam up in time. Now that they have that middle turret down, it can open up that mid area. They need more vision there because Xerath is a prime target for a Vi LeBlanc combo post 6. Looks like they are going to head down mid, bottom though.
Doing everything well based off of the time of the game right now. Taking that mid turret, now knowing that they would have to back on this one. The dragon goes over to Winterfox. The vision was not able to be grabbed that would make this contestable. So 2 dragons here in favor of Winterfox. Dominate doesn't even try for it. So it feels like Liquid are comfortable with what's happening on the map right now. They have that first blood lead, but that's about it. It's 2K sitting here.
Let's see what Avalon can do because he is getting starved so heavily by Quas. The 1 versus 1 power was just way too much. Since they've already taken the dragon though off the bottom side of the map, Avalon can farm fairly safely up on this top side and get back into this game. He really needs to complete his Rod of Ages as soon as possible to start get that stacking so that he can start building some defensive items. Right now, the first big power spike in the game is Trinity Force on the Fizz.
Yeah, that's good timing at 13.
He's a very, very powerful assassin at the moment.
So looking for Team Liquid to pressure their advantage. Bottom lane here with Keith. They may be able to get a kill on lone Altec, but he backs out of the lane. They know it's not safe to be going past the river alone right now. They're out for Helios. 50 to 52 on junglers. They've been trying to make themselves very present in the game. Another right of the arcane to the face of Pobelter, pushing him out of lane, but FeniX still not able to find those kills. 118 to 126 for as many times he's been pushed out. That's a pretty even lane altogether due to the lane swaps. Here we have a little more pressure from Liquid at the bottom lane.
All right, so the mid turret down. They want to keep on knocking down the outer turrets with the Jinx Janna combo. They've brought some extra support here. Not the only dominate, but Quas as well. And that will be number 3, all outer turrets down.
Ooh, exploded. Imagine the first number on the board is actually going to be an assist already. It was almost a death next up. Avalon teleports into the fight, and he's trying to be a front line. Tibber is able to take the stun, pretty much saving Avalon's life there, and Dominate's the only one to go down.
I like the play from Imagine so far. Even though he got hit with the ultimate, able to survive Quas's all-in, and then able to move Tibbers as well to take that stun. Nice little bit of micro there.
Yeah.
From the new support. Winterfox, though, they are down a gigantic amount of global gold because of the 3 outer turrets that were taken by this Jinx Janna combo and the powerful lane advantage that Quas got over Avalon.
Altec needs to spend some money.
That discrepancy, though, in gold, it probably won't grow too much unless Team Liquid are able to find some Winterfox players out of position.
Right.
Right now, the secondary turrets are a lot harder for them to take, and they haven't quite established enough vision yet. Ooh!
Oh, just the save. Avalon couldn't get in range for a twisted advance. And Xpecial, the monsoon and flash to save his own life.
Yeah, it's Winterfox's time to strike back now. They've got Vi ultimate ready, plenty of CC on their side.
This is what they've been waiting for. Little dodge there. The blue buff helping very nicely on Pobelter. Morellonomicon and his Sork boots matching up with FeniX. And Quas, he can just be a menace now, whether he decides to split push or set up ambushes like this.
Yeah, Avalon really needs some defensive vision inside their jungle if he's going to continue to stay up top. Also, there's a teleport advantage for Team Liquid, so they can make a move on the other side of the map if they just keep Quas up top and have him pressure. I mean, really, the next stages of the game are who's going to gain vision control of this upper red side jungle. If Team Liquid can do it, then they're going to gain a whole bunch of pressure with keeping Quas up there and using that teleport advantage. And Winterfox, exact same story. They need to defend against it. Everybody heading bottom, though. Imagine does have Tibbers now, but still no flash. Look at the bait. Oh, no, Helios! You have to charge your wall breaker up all the way. That wall is extremely thick.
A little bit longer. Hard to flash, hold the vault breaker. What are you going to do?
Well, probably should have flashed it then. That would have been a kill.
LCS big plays, almost. New hashtag. Minute and 30 left on to Dragon. We can see Team Liquid thoroughly pushing the lanes. Gonna have Quas up to the top lane here, which if he does get that split push on, he is able to call up Avalon. It makes it easier. FeniX has then 4 pretty much squishy targets to be firing those skill shots through, so it makes it that much easier as Team Liquid just uses their advantages.
And I do want to point out, as you bring up Quas, that he has upgraded his yellow trinket to the ward dropper, so he can drop multiple wards up here for himself now.
You're a big fan of that.
I love the upgrade for the new yellow trinket. It is ridiculously efficient. And as a top laner, you are much, much safer than the support is and going out to drop these deep wards in the Fog of War. So Quas, with that upgrade, should be able to keep a decent amount of vision up on that top side and allow himself to continue to split push.
I gotta believe you now. I saw a Reddit thread about it. I said upgrade it. You said it. I'm just gonna do it now. That's what has to be done. Quas.
I mean, it was already ridiculously efficient, but then once they added that it can hold charges, it's definitely
it's the bee's knees now. 25 seconds on to Dragon. Winterfox nicely clearing out the vision here, but they still missed one. Just missed a spot. Uh-oh. Sonar vision given over. We see Xpecial saw that as well. He turned right as he saw the footsteps. Altec should be able to drop the turret here. This is good global gold that Winterfox needs to kind of recuperate on, being 2K gold behind, and a third dragon possibly in their name would help that cause.
All right, so right now, Team Liquid, they just want to make use of their extra range here with FeniX just poking a bit and buy time for Quas to get some damage on that top turret. Team Liquid are not the ones who want to force this. It's all on Winterfox to make this happen quickly so that they can at least pull that teleport out from Quas. They're taking a lot of damage in the process, though. Avalon already down to half.
That's what I was talking about, Kobe. The 4 squishy targets. Helios goes in, and he's not that tanky himself. If they have the focus, he gets squashed immediately. Quas is going to be coming in on this one. He's the level 12, not even needed for that. Still has his ulti, and they are chasing Winterfox every which way on this fight. Dragon will be theirs, the third one of the game. Chum the Water's just missing on that, but it was just to zone them out a little bit more. Team Liquid looking strong here, 20 minutes in.
Yeah, bit of a blunder there for Winterfox. Helios goes in extremely deep and does not respect that Xpecial peel. Yeah. I mean, it was also a really good job from Keith there. He dropped the flame choppers halfway through, so the team just retreats, and nobody can even follow Helios, even if they wanted to. Let's take a look here. He comes from around the dragon, scaring everybody off, and nobody can get across the flame chopper line with Quas coming in and a teleport.
Here's a smoke grenade.
Just immediately jump back out. It's really well played by Team Liquid because they know they have the vulnerable backline, so everybody just collapses and they peel. Winterfox not able to coordinate all of this hard CC that they have. I mean, they really need to layer the Maokai with the Vi and the Annie for them to pull that off, but it was a bit disjointed there.
It was good that Pobelter was able to pick up a kill towards the end off of FeniX. He was pressuring him out all mid lane, so he gets a little bit back. Hopefully a carry that Winterfox can put the bag on and stick the rest of the team in here. The gold lead only growing slowly in favor of Team Liquid, and Keith, I think his first real blunder there. He is way out of position.
Yeah, hard to account for the Flash Annie stun, but he was pushed up way too far. As we said, Team Liquid, they should be aware their back line, while very powerful, is also very vulnerable and should never be up front. That's Dominate's job and Quas's job, because he can get away with the playful trickster.
I think that was a learning process right there. That's kind of like touch the hot oven, don't do it again. He's got a little lax. He's been having easy games. He's got a good KDA. You found out that he can still get burned. Pobelter not getting back there. Nice job by FeniX.
All right, so they should just return to having Quas try and split push and take that advantage. Right now, though, Avalon does have teleport, so he can hug his turret and just hold the minions very easily against Quas, and then try and make a play somewhere else on the map. Vision, though, has been reduced to almost 0 for Winterfox. Team Liquid have taken complete control of both sides of the map. Very few wards out here for Winterfox. They do not have one of those upgraded yellow trinkets. So it's pretty much all on that sight stone and a couple of pink pickups.
And it seems odd that you say that. Obviously, they're getting some swept out, but they do have double sight stone, so they should have a good amount of wards on their side. They're just not able to protect anything right now. So far behind, and Quas, with his upgraded, is able to throw down more wards as well. So they are just littering this map with the security and safety.
Yeah, Helios, he has the sight zone, but right now he has 0 of 3 wards placed on the map. That should almost never happen if you do have a sight stone.
Unless you're Lisa. Maybe.
We're trying to hold all of them for big plays.
See? You need the hashtag. Almost LCS big plays. Coming up, 4th Dragon still has a bit of time to go. That's gating a bit of the speed of the game here. Everybody wants to be safe while they do this and not get picked off. Obviously, Keith knows what that's about. Just a few minutes ago, we saw him getting taken out in mid lane. And that flash, actually, of Imagine is just about 75% cooldown, so we could have another Tibbers initiation here within the next fight.
Yeah, as is very necessary on Annie. He's gotten the distortion upgrade really early.
Right.
Because that's pretty much the entire thing they're looking for with Imagine. They want one of those group plays, though. Winterfox, they really need to make their next team fight count. If they let this Team Liquid team get any more ahead, it's going to be really hard to stop. They definitely need to have Vi and Maokai on the same page for their engage. And Imagine will be perfect follow-up.
Hopefully they can get him in the right spot. Quas causing so much trouble in that top lane here. Team Liquid definitely showing a different style of play coming into this game. Very, very safe. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite them too soon. Winterfox definitely has a team that can make an impact if they start to get their own picks. If they, like you said, get that Annie initiation from Imagine. And with Pobelter having that Rabadon's finish, going to have a little bit more power.
Yeah, and we're seeing exactly why I said the early game was going to be so important for Team Liquid. Because they've been able to establish so much vision control, they haven't been caught out a single time. This is a team with LeBlanc, Annie, and Vi. And,
that's true.
And Winterfox have only been able to catch Keith that one time when he was pushed all the way up at a secondary turret with their Annie Flash. But now Annie Flash is back up. They have all summoners available for both teams. So the next team fight should be fairly dramatic.
I like it. I'm going to hold you to that, though. We do see the critical cloak here for Keith. We can get a little more powerful for Jinx. He's definitely going to be carrying from the backside. Quas is still sitting on that Triforce, but has quite a bit of gold to go back and fight with if they do get into a tussle.
He has a huge, huge amount of pressure that he can apply, especially with his teleport back up and going back to base to purchase right now. Quas is going to be a very big problem for Altec to deal with, because a lot of the Winterfox are going to be looking forward. And they're going to be looking to try and take out FeniX and Keith.
That's true.
Not much of the CC will be used for peeling here.
It actually looks like they're getting Righteous Glory as well.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Imagine. Very, very close to going down, but this is big because Dragon was 1 second from being away. His flash just came back up as well, but he's going back to base.
Even though there was no kill there, that's a huge play from FeniX. The drawback to the support Annie, while she does have great engage, is always getting poked out. And since that threat is removed, Team Liquid will secure another Dragon and the blue buff. You can see how much damage Quas does right now. With the Wit's End on top of it, is going with the on-hit Fizz build. It is devastating with the changes to W. Seastone Trident for him. It's going to be really hard for Winterfox to keep him in check. They need to get one of those combos down. And whenever you do have a front line that's this scary, provides this much threat, as Quas does, it makes it a lot easier to play one of those carries that has less mobility, like Jinx. Because everyone on Winterfox is so scared of Quas up in the front line. He provides a lot of zoning for Keith.
Right.
And then with just Xpecial back there in the back line to help him, he should be free.
Solidify that first kill, get excited, and the whole slew of kills follow. Winterfox could be pinched out here. Quas is getting the ping down, but Dominate, that is going to be Helios that gets hit up. Pobelter's trying to enter this one as a new challenger, but he is a little late to the party. They're not going to fully get, oh, they do fully get that cleared. That was Xpecial, making sure he had his eye on it, and Liquid saved their jungle.
Yeah, they force Imagine back to base again, though, and they drew out his exhaust, which was one of the few tools that they had to buy time for the rest of the team and reduce Quas's damage.
Right.
Without the exhaust for the team fight, things just got a lot more complicated for Winterfox. They definitely need to get fight back in this vision war. Helios right now is trying, but he's outnumbered. Doesn't have any backup here, and he loses out on the sweeper activation.
That's the scary way to ward, when you just want to get the last ward in and your team is already back. He could have been taken out if the right people were right in front of him there. It was just Dominate and Xpecial. Didn't have the damage. Winterfox focusing finally on the last outer turret. That's some gold they've actually been doing without this whole time. So you can see just a little far behind in getting themselves adjusted to the map control. It's been Team Liquid's for pretty much 90% of the game. The gold still coming back quite even. 2 dragons apiece as well. So the third one, it's not going to be huge, but once we get to that 5th, it's definitely going to be the tell-all of the game.
There's the first attempt at the flank, but because the warding from Team Liquid has been so good, off the back of their really strong laning phase, they are easily able to dodge it, and they're the ones who actually come out ahead because they had vision of Winterfox on that engage, and all 5 members were committed to it. They get half of a bottom turret.
just dancing around Winterfox right now. All the vision allows him to go where Winterfox is not. Finding nothing but free turrets to take down. Keith clears the bottom lane. He's actually 100 CS behind Altec right now, so Altec's pretty big, but not able to put up numbers in these fights. As one, there hasn't been that many, and two, when there have been fights, Team Liquid usually is the one starting them from a million miles away.
Yeah, and then again, Team Liquid has constantly been sending Quas to split push, so a lot of the extra CS for them has been going on to this Fizz, and that's a really good answer to a fed AD carry. Even though Winterfox are pouring a lot of money into Altec, this Fizz will easily be able to take that money off the battlefield if he's able to get into that back line.
Oh man, that was painful.
All about the initiation taunting team fight. Okay, teleport does come in. Pobelter should be able to see it. However, Maokai's on the bottom side.
Oh, that's so much damage.
Teleport is ready. Oh, they're going all in for it.
I don't know if they're going to have it. That is going to be Dominate Smite. Now they need to back out here. They did take quite a bit of damage. Flash, Tibbers. Oh, he missed Xpecial. He actually hit him, but he flashed at the perfect time.
Ooh, interesting little interaction there.
Hashtag what?
Still gets
that was
over
amazing.
the wall.
Great play. Obviously, Liquid's going to pick up Baron, lose a little bit of ground as Winterfox take mid, but enough ground was gained that really did not matter. 2 minutes until Dragon, and Winterfox were a little short to the party on that one.
Yeah. So the thing is, now, there's a little opening right now. I mean, not a lot of teams try and take advantage of this. After the opponents take Baron, you should have a moment on the map where you can actually gain something through vision control. Because your opponents just taking Baron spent a lot of their vision moving it over towards Baron and clearing that out. Some teams actually can set up some traps so that when your opponents come back with that Baron buff, you can try and take advantage of them. But everybody heads back to base. Just one turret for that Baron for Winterfox, and now they'll just try and wave clear and hold on. Very difficult for them because they've got a Xerath poking them the entire time.
The siege is all there along with the poke, thanks to Quas. So big in this game, he can be such a menace. And now they just continue the poke until they can get in range for a Chum the Waters. 30 minutes on the clock, a minute up to that Dragon. Few more. Yeah! No. Oh, drop the beat. All right. I like it. And no, they just gets out of range. So, not needing a banner of command on that one. Able to get the Siege Winion in for a mid-turret takedown. Nicely done. And we see Team Liquid back off. Imagine now coming out of base. He does have his Righteous Glory finished. Bloodthirster up for Altec so he can try and stay alive and fend for himself in these fights. A lot of spike items here for Winterfox, but they cannot seem to use them. Early game from Team Liquid. Very nicely done to get the lane swap matchup back in their favor. Even though Altec and Imagine went pretty hard, Xpecial was able to disengage, and Keith, they had good trades that early game, and it really helped out the lane. Yeah,
Winterfox, they really need to make a vision play here. Looks like they are going to try and make it around this Dragon. But again, every time FeniX lands a large amount of poke on one of those mages, makes them think twice. They can't wait around and get poked out. Need to make use of the flash stun from Annie. Looks like they don't even want to fight at all.
Even on the retreat, they're warded out.
Too much control here from Team Liquid. There are very few spots that Winterfox can actually fight now. Under the turrets, they're just going to continue to take poke as well.
Well, Baron's down, bottom lane to be pushed here. We'll see where Quas decides to go on this one. His teleport is down, so he may just decide to stick with the team. Looks like Keith wants a little more farm. Obviously got to get bigger. We said third Dragon for either team wouldn't be gigantic. Winterfox was okay with walking away from that one, but as we get closer to 5, they're definitely going to have to start carrying.
The speed is definitely going to help them out with pulling back because their team comp, they're all about trying to disengage while Winterfox are moving forward. Buy some time for Quas to move around in the back line. Extra speed on top of the Janna passive. They should be able to run circles around Winterfox now.
Maybe see some captain boots on Xpecial soon here once he gets the money. Who knows? So
with Mikhail's completed as well, that job gets really, really difficult for Winterfox.
to lock anybody down. Yeah, I thought Altec would have something of that sort, either QSS now or have the Mikhails to get out of Chum the Waters, or, you know, FeniX is stunned when he gets locked down. Seems like it would be helpful, but maybe not. Hoping Winterfox's front line can explode those damage factors before they get to Altec. Oh, another Tibbers not fully connecting. FeniX gets hit. Can he stay alive, though? He goes to the back line. Ignite's going to take him down, and blue buff gets transferred over, and the deaths are falling now for Liquid. That's Dominate down. FeniX already fell. There goes Xpecial, and the long fights are favoring Winterfox here, as they also lose Quas. Keith was forced to run from this one as he was already on the back line.
They finally got it. They grouped up and they rushed him down. They came through 2 pink wards here on that path. So great job. Oh!
Woo! Little hot rocket there.
The snipe.
Keith was brief. He got himself a kill with the ultimate. We see the push in, the twisted advance, just out of range. Avalon blowing his flash, not coming up with anything on that one. Keith looking for a reset here to maybe get some kills for himself. That's one of the resets. Altec, pretty big though. We know he's got that farm to get the items that he has throughout this game.
That's huge for them though.
That was huge, yeah.
It's very difficult for
Dominate!
to take down inhibitor turrets. He uses the Rek'Sai ult to get out there, but he does not have Keith behind him. If Keith had followed them and kept them in vision, then maybe that play could have worked out. But solo Rek'Sai not going to be able to get much done.
Definitely see a little bit of that play. Dominate was also stopping those guys from being back in time, which in turn slowly stops people from getting here. The turret already would have gone down, but Quas a bit more safety. So Liquid realizes that was a bit of a boo-boo, and they try to react immediately here, taking top turret.
Well, we finally got to see it all come together.
That was even a missed Tibbers too, technically, and they still won that.
Yeah, I'd like to get another look at that one.
Here we go.
All right, so he goes for the 2 main targets. He got both flashes. So it wasn't a missed Tibbers. That was a really good Tibbers.
Yeah, you're right. The stunt
It was
there.
basically the perfect Tibbers. Targeted at both of the members of the back line, who are once again really far up. And then Quas actually uses his first set of cooldowns, the first rotation of abilities on Fizz to assassinate the Annie, who already used flash Tibbers. Annie already did her job. And Quas takes out the support there. So Team Liquid, we can see how they came out behind on that one. Keith getting positioned in range for the snipe. Ooh. Beautiful shot. No time there for Pobelter to even react. Came out of Fog of War. But yeah, it was a really good job by Imagine. Coming straight out, not hesitating to use his flash. Got both flashes of the back lines of Team Liquid. And everybody else piled in. This is why Winterfox always take multiple sets of hard engage. They've got waves of engage.
Was enough to get the fight done, but can they find it again? The Baron says, I may be your opportunity to pile Team Liquid into one spot for that fight. 37 minutes on the clock. I'd be surprised if Team Liquid actually piled themselves right into that Baron den. Looks like they're going to set up a bit of vision here and go for the dance-off first. Try to pull Winterfox into a disadvantageous fight. Imagine getting close.
They gotta respect it now.
I mean,
with distortion boots, this flash is almost back up. Good job though from Team Liquid. They filled in their vision once again, all over the red side jungle. So Baron is definitely prepped. They can try and bait once again, and it is really scary to try and walk into a team like Team Liquid have here with the Fizz and Xerath. If Pobelter or Imagine do get chunked out at all, Fizz burst and Xerath follow-up long range can easily take any of them out. So they're being very careful, trying to clear out some vision first. We did get Avalon selling his sweeper for the mid-game and actually getting the upgraded yellow trinket to try and fill in some of those wards as well.
Definitely good. We mentioned that Winterfox was lacking in that area, and they'd lost most of their front line turrets for it. Only have the bottom one. Here, gaining a bit back. Looks like this is going to be good for them. If they can hold this, see if Team Liquid bites on the fight.
We definitely cannot move into the Maokai LeBlanc.
No.
Fog of War. Here goes the Righteous Glory, and he gets him again.
The Righteous Glory goes out, and it's FeniX that gets locked down. Pobelter goes in, but Imagine picks up that kill first. Quas to the back line. He will go down to Altec, and they still have Assault and Battery. Keith goes down. Xpecial's going to be the next focus, and Winterfox, after waiting patiently all game and being beaten back, turn it on in the past 2 fights.
They just bring so much CC to every team fight here. This time around, Imagine's on the front line grabbing FeniX, and Avalon actually used his Twisted Advance to peel for Altec. When Quas goes in, he locked him up long enough for Altec to take down half of Quas's life. And Altec, this Graves that they put all their money on, dealing damage the entire time. They're just going for the end game.
They are going right for the Nexus turrets. In the blink of an eye, Winterfox flips things around, and they're going to be taking out Team Liquid here. Week 5, Game 1. Winterfox takes down Team Liquid, 38-50. Wow, what a turnaround for a game. Well, said they were playing safe, but I guess a little too safe just kind of hands the game right over.
That's why I keep on mentioning the threat of bringing all of this CC for Winterfox and why they continue to draft teams that just have so much hard CC. Even if they mess up one of the fights early on, piling in like that.
It makes sense because it goes against what I said earlier. I was saying, you know, Team Liquid's huge. Once they approach these turrets, they have Quas once the poke is done so they can siege. But who wants to siege under a Maokai, under a Vi, under an Annie? Nobody. And once we saw Team Liquid approach those inner turrets, they pretty much walked away with nothing each time.
The mid-game, where Liquid had a strong early lead with taking all of the outer turrets first, they weren't able to leverage that 3,000 or so global gold advantage into much more than a couple dragons that
It's a big surge.
Did not help them much, and they traded those for gold back to Winterfox.
It's something we'll have to watch. A lot of times it looks like a team surges once they get that gold, but we have to remember that gold is still there to be had by the other team, and Winterfox kind of spiked with that, right? They took the outer 3, then they took another one, then they had a dragon fight or a fight in mid that was theirs, so their gold came so fast. That composition came together when it needed to. Fantastic play all around from the team. Imagine first game with the team comes up with a victory, but it did not look like they were having fun in that lane. Taking a few shots from Keith and Xpecial in the early game.
Yeah, not too bad of a performance from Keith back on the stage. Got a nice snipe. Strong damage from the back line. But again, running a Xerath and a Jinx into Winterfox, knowing the type of game that Winterfox like to play,
just in general.
I just have to question the strategy of trying to take a backline with such low mobility when you know the guys that you're playing against love to run all of this hard CC.
So you're even saying that before Champion Select.
I mean, Winterfox, we've seen them try and run things with other strategies, right? With Pobelter on support, and it never quite works out. So I'm always expecting them to go with something like this.
Well,